We're going to be talking a fair bit about image today, partly because of what happened on The Apprentice last night, and I'll apologise in advance if I spoil anyone's videoing pleasure by talking about that a bit later on. But we're also going to be talking about a particular breed of dog, because an RSPCA centre near Braintree is to make a film promoting Staffordshire Bull Terriers in the hope it will kickstart interest in rehoming the breed. The Danaher home says they're struggling to cope with the number being passed to them, and the public seems reluctant to take them in. Part of this may be because the dogs are sometimes associated with gangs or antisocial behaviour. John Kirkman is general manager of the centre, and he says that problem puts real pressure on his organisation.
At any one time, I would say that of the 70 kennels that we have here, approximately 65% are occupied by Staffordshire Bull Terriers or Staffy Crosses. A great many of those are brought into us by the Braintree dog warden, because those dogs have been abandoned on the streets of Braintree, or they're brought into us directly by members of the public. A lot of those dogs, after they've exceeded the age of 3 or 4, are no longer fashion accessories, which is why they've been abandoned in the first instance, and they can be difficult to rehome. Once we've managed to educate people who are interested in adopting a dog, how affectionate, kind, and trainable a Staffy can be, that they're not dangerous dogs at all, then we find that they are able to be rehomed approximately after 2 months, I would say, on average, over the space of a year.
You're a charity. You need to have a turnover to do the work that you feel you need to do. The Staffy problem, if we can call it that, must be pressing down on the pockets as well as on the heartstrings.
Indeed it does. It costs this centre approximately £1,250 per day to operate. So as you can imagine, we have to pull all the irons out of the fire in coming up with fundraising ideas as to how we can actually cover the costs. Without the generosity of the public, without our donors and our sponsors, etc., we wouldn't be able to survive in any way.
Frustrating then that you have the generosity of people who are helping you, supporting you, but at the same time you have a section of society which is behaving in a way that's forcing these dogs upon you, and also forcing the sort of dogs that people sort of struggle to warm to.
That's right. The Staffy, for one reason or another, is seen generally as a fashion adornment.
How hard is that for you to know that people are behaving in that way? And frustrating, tough? I mean, do you resent it?
Yes, we do resent it. It's a great shame that people don't understand that these are, living creatures. They have emotions, they have feelings. It's something that we would like to be able to control in some way, but even with the government's recent moves to possibly reintroduce dog licences or microchip compulsorily, it's something that we find that we're never going to be able to control to the fullest degree we would want to.
The ultimate goal for this film that you've made, can you explain that?
The ultimate goal is to educate the public about the Staffordshire Bull Terrier and the Staffy Cross. There are a great many people out there who consider that the dog is dangerous. There are some who say that it should be listed under the Dangerous Dogs Act. We are here to try and explain to people the dog is anything but aggressive. Unless it has been trained to do otherwise, is an affectionate dog that will give you years of faith and loyalty. It really will. And if we can achieve that education, which is why we exist, and people come to believe that the Staffy is much like any other lovable dog, such as the popular Labrador, Golden Retriever, etc., then we'll have achieved our objectives.
It's John Kirkman. He's General Manager of the Danaher Centre, talking to BBC Essex's Richard Martin. We'll have more on this story later on after